Welcome to Explicit Expression, where it's facts over feelings. My name is Adam, and I'm gonna tell you how it is, and I don't care how you feel about it. Let's go. All right, so look, we're gonna talk about this Tyreek Hill situation. Okay, so we got this, I guess, morning show, sports talk show. So they're talking about the Tyreek Hill situation. I don't know what's the problem with black people. Once they get money, they feel like they don't have to change their attitude or the way they do things. They'll change their cars. They'll change where they live. They'll go somewhere where there's people not like them or more of them. Buy all this expensive shit, but their mentality don't change, right? So this nigga Tyreek Hill gets pulled over because he was speeding, going fast as hell. I seen the video. Okay, they tell him what to do. He decides he's not gonna do it, or he's gonna do it in his own time. Police get frustrated, pull him out the car, put him on the floor, and arrest him. Now, you got all these fucking black people, most of them probably are Democrats because that's how they fucking think that none of that should have happened. Well, he should have fucking listened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to you from somebody that something like this happened to before. And I will sit here and honestly tell you, it was my fault. I did not listen to what the fuck the people were saying. I did what I wanted to do, and they reacted. For every action, there's a reaction. These cops, most of them want to go home. I want to go home. Most of them don't know what you're going to do or who you are when they pull you over. So in their head, it's safety first. And maybe that's how they was trained, right? But in their head, it's safety first. So if they're telling you to do shit for their safety and yours, maybe you should follow and do what they say. It's that simple. But black people will do what the fuck they want, say what they want, and then when shit happen to them, they go online or go to news stations and start yelling racism. I don't understand it, bro. And I never will. And this is why shit like this keep happening to black people. This is like prime example why shit like this happen to black people. Y'all fucking crazy. Y'all don't listen. Y'all do what the fuck y'all want to do. And y'all think, I'm justified because I have rights. Oh, it's racism. We've been it's been so much racism against us. We should be able to do what we want to do. No, y'all new age black people. Nobody's been racist to y'all. Y'all are free to do what the fuck y'all want to do. And when you don't listen to authorities, shit like this is gonna happen to you. And number one, Tyreek Hill was privileged enough to be so awesome and so great at football for he to make all his money, for people to know him. And I can tell you, if it was anybody else in this situation, it probably would have been worse. It probably would have been worse if it wasn't him. And he knows that. Most rich people, most people with a little bit of power knows that they have some type of leverage because of their status or their money. And he knew that, and that's why he acted the way he acted. He thought nothing would have happened. But it probably would have been worse if this was anybody else. And now they're out here parading this shit, making it seem like it's okay, where a regular person will come out and do this, try to do the same shit, and they might not make it to see the next day. And I think that's fucked up. I think that's fucked up. I think that's crazy. Y'all can't be out here having regular people think they can act like this with the police and they're going to get the same outcome. No. So please, black people, be smarter. Think about your family at home. Think about friends. Think about your kids. Think about wives, girlfriends, whatever. When you get pulled over by the police, Do what they say. Get your whatever you is that you have to give it to them, and just, if it's a ticket, be on your way. If it's not, if you're gonna go to jail, handle that at that time. Don't be stupid. Y'all cry about how the police is this and this and that. Then when you get pulled over by the police, you want to argue and fight with them. If it's somebody that you're so scared of that you think is going to do something bad to you, why are you creating a situation where they can actually harm you? Why? I don't get that. That don't make no sense. And then after, when something happens to you, then you want to run around and yell racism. Like, bro, you caused it. Come on, bro. Let's get into the video. These dumbasses here, these dumbasses, bro. These fucking dumbasses are sitting here acting like what this nigga did was okay. Okay, the police was rough or whatever. I don't think anything should happen to the police, because then people will start thinking it's okay to act like that, because the police is going to get fired. They can sue. They can make money. Right? Then they're going to start acting like this. Everybody's going to start acting like this, and shit is going to get worse. I don't think anything should happen to the police. These fucking dumbasses are on here praising this shit like this shit is okay. I don't understand.
Paul, what was your reaction when you saw Tyreek in handcuffs on the ground on Sunday morning?
And they said it was down the street from the stadium.
I don't give a fuck where it was.
It was at the stadium.
It was at.
It wasn't at the stadium. It was outside on the street. I don't know how close it was to the stadium, but obviously this nigga was speeding, or they would have never pulled him over.
The stadium?
Yeah.
Man, when I first saw that, I'm trying to think, what could you have possibly done to be put in handcuffs and face down on the ground? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's usually safe for somebody committing a real crime.
What's a real crime?
So I was like, shocked just to see that. I know they know who Tyreek is, but that just shows you the problems that we still have in America. I swear to you, as a black man in America, even if you're poor, middle class,
because
or even as known as Tyreek Hill, there's still issues when it comes to black people and cops. And when I saw today that same officer, one of the officers...
I don't understand how black people are not the majority, but they commit the most crimes, right? But then these people will sit here and say, oh, it's everybody else's fault but the people who are committing the crimes. You're not the majority. There's less of you than white people, but yet y'all commit most of the crime. Like, does that make any sense? That means there's a problem there. Come on, bro.
Got put on administrative leave. That told me that they were
no, it doesn't.
In the wrong right there.
No, it doesn't. It happens all the time with certain jobs. When shit happen, they put people off. They send people home so they can investigate to make sure that they get the full story on what happened. If there's any punishment that needs to be levied, then that will take place. So he don't know what the fuck he talking about.
So you know who Tyreek is. He's a block from the stadium. Maybe, yeah, he did get pulled over for a traffic violation. Maybe he did say something that the police didn't want to hear. But why is he handcuffed and face down on the ground? And I just think that's still disturbing to this day to see things like this. Yeah,
the entire situation is nonsense. He's right outside of the stadium. Even if you did pull him over for speeding, why is he face down?
She said the entire situation is nonsense. Like, the reason why they even pull them over is nonsense. Like, yeah, even if he's speeding, he's Tyreek Hill. Just let him speed. Just let him run through the street. He's late for his football game. Why not? Just, if that's the case, why don't you get a police escort? You got the money. Why don't you just get a police escort, or let your team know, hey, I'm running late. I might need an escort. They got enough money to get you there. They want to win.
Down on the ground for a moving violation and not having his seatbelt on. And then Calais Campbell comes up, and you put Calais Campbell in handcuffs. So you were just looking for problems. Right. You wanted to escalate the situation. This was your
was chilling, and they're like, "Oh, Tyreek Hill is supposed to come to his game today. We know his car. We know his license plate. We know what car he's gonna be driving today because we follow him from his house. Yeah, let's figure out how to, pull him over and oh yeah, and we know that some of his friends are gonna probably stop and try to see what's going on. Yeah, let's arrest them too. That's what we're gonna do today. They were just looking for problems.
Opportunity to mess with them, and you took it. And I'm not even advocating for special treatment, which, just logically speaking, you're at the stadium. You are going to deal with the players at some points. You are going.
Now, I don't know where she get that information from. She obviously works in the sports media, so maybe she knows that. But from what I've seen, that wasn't at the stadium. It looks like it was a couple blocks away from the stadium on the street. There was normal people driving through there at regular speed, and then you see this nigga just zoom by. Come on, bro. It wasn't in the parking lot. It wasn't in their garage where the players go. And I don't know if these officers work for the Miami Dolphins team or from a third party that was hired to, traffic that, monitor that area. I don't know. Maybe she does. But from what I've seen, that wasn't a situation. That's not what I've seen. They weren't at the stadium. They was on the street.
To have players driving through these barricades, that's part of the process of an NFL game at home. You absolutely know who he is. It's not even about special treatment. What is the crime here that he is face down on the grounds?
He's speeding on the street, right? Fast as hell with no seatbelt. He could have killed himself. He could have killed somebody. It's a crime. Even though nobody died because he got pulled over, but it's a crime to be speeding that fast with no seatbelt on. It's a law. So follow the law. How about that? And she's saying like, oh, it was nothing. Like he was just speeding. So what? He's Tyreek Hill. He got to get to his game. It's Miami. Come on,
being asked to lay down face on the ground. You know who he is. Like, there's no way you jumped from him being face down on the ground outside of his car, outside of the stadium, without you knowing who he is. So what crime could he possibly be committing that this is necessary? And then Calais comes over to try and de-escalate it, and you put him in handcuffs. Yeah. Man of the year, 17-year NFL vet, Calais Campbell is in handcuffs as well. It's outrageous. And
who cares how many trophies this nigga got? Who cares how big he is? Who cares how many rings he got? Who cares? The police are conducting their investigation. They're talking to a suspect that might have committed a crime. And then you come out of nowhere trying to de-escalate something that's not your job. Pull over somewhere that's safe and then try to ask what's going on. If they tell you, wait. That's not your job to come police the police. That's not your job.
I'm glad it's being handled, but that is my reaction to having been to this stadium as many times as I have and knowing exactly where this is. It's just, they knew who he was.
They act like they ain't got no fucking brain cells.
Yeah, I would think that you would know out of everybody on that particular team, you certainly would know who Tyreek Hill is. Unless you just under a rock somewhere and you just don't know anything.
Look at this nigga, bro. Look at this nigga. Unless you're under a rock, you should know who Tyreek Hill is. Not everybody watches football. And if they do, most of the time, if that's not their favorite team, they don't care who's on that team. I'm like that. If that's not my team or a team that I like, I don't care who's on that team. I don't want to know who's on that team. I'm focused on my team, the players on my team. And most of the time, not all the players on my team, specifically some of them that I like. Maybe the quarterback, the wide receiver, or the running backs. Most of the time, people don't even know who the defensive linemen are or the offensive linemen are. Most of the time, people don't even know that. Star players are who we know, and most of the time, it's the players that we like and follow. So maybe they didn't know who Tyreek Hill was. I don't give a fuck how big he is. Maybe they didn't know. But she's claiming that they knew. Or if you didn't know, that means you was under a rock.
That you do ask people for their identification. So
yeah, you ask them for identification, but at the same time, you asked Paul about the reaction, and my reaction is, I initially thought, okay, I'm like, all right, he was trying to get to the stadium because I didn't know until, as the report continued to come out, that he was actually at the stadium, because initially it sounded like he might have been a block or two from the stadium. So I'm like, okay, even if you're a block or two from the stadium, there's detours set up and there's barricades, and they got guys that stand there and say, hey, can I see your orange pass? Can I see your green pass?
Yeah, that's where he was.
And so you're in that situation.
No. You see how she tried to frame that? That's not where he was. He wasn't where they asked for your pass from the players and the coaches and everybody and the media to let you in. That's not where he was. He was on the street. Obviously, you can see nobody asked him for anything. He was trying to get to the stadium. So you see, they make shit up to present their side of the story and make it seem how they wanted to seem. He wasn't at the stadium. He was on the street trying to get to the stadium. That's not where they check in and your passes and everything. I've been to a stadium before. That's not where they check your passes and shit. Stop it.
Let's assume that he was speeding.
Even when you get really, really close to the stadium, there's police everywhere trafficking the area because there's people walking to the stadium. So let's give him that. Let's say, okay, he was right there at the stadium. If you've been to a football game before, they block out a certain area and that it's only one lane or two lanes for cars to pass through because there's people walking into the stadium. So if this where this nigga was speeding through there, that's even more dangerous. I don't understand, but you can see from the video that's not where he was. He was on the street where there's still people are driving, trying to get to the stadium. So they're over here making shit up.
Faster than what he should have in that particular zone. Bruh. 4 hours
that's
before
why
game.
It's called a speed limit. And I have gotten a lot of traffic tickets. Trust me, I know. When you're speeding, you're not paying attention to the speed limit. You're just trying to get to where you're getting to because you're probably late for something or you're trying to get somewhere fast enough. That's all that is.
Game started, 3.5 hours before game start. There's some fans and people tailgating and things of that nature. Okay. Might have been speeding a little faster than what he should have.
So it's okay.
That's fine. You pull him over. Fine. He rolls down his windows with his tent. You look at him, you go, hey, Tyreek.
No. That's not what happened. Another lie. I'll do reaction to the full video. His window was up. When the cop pulled up next to him, he rolled his window down and said, how fast was I going? The cop said, pull over. Because obviously we're not going to talk right next to each other. The cop said, pull over. He pulls over and rolls his window back up. Why? Your window's already down. Why are you rolling it back up? Cop knocks on it a couple of times, tell him to put it down. He said, don't knock on my window like that. You can't tell me what to do. How is he going to talk to you if your window is up? How is he going to know that he's safe if your window is up? It's tenant. Your window is tenant. I don't know what the tent rule is in Miami, but I think his window was tenant, dark. You can't see nothing in there. Come on, bro.
How you doing, man? We slow down.
That's not what happened. We have to be sensible. We have to think logically. Like, bro, the police pull you over. You know you got somewhere to be. You got a game in a couple of hours. Here's my license, sir, blah, blah, blah. Were you speeding? Oh, I didn't know how fast I was going. Okay, cool. Let me check your shit. I'll be right back. Blah, 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 blah. Bro, here you go. You were speeding real fast. Tyreek Hill, if you know who it is, blah, blah, blah. Here's your ticket. Thank you, sir. Go handle it. Or, hey, get to your game. But come on, let's slow down. This is this is a busy day. We got a lot. Let's slow that down. Okay, sir. I apologize. Keep it going. You don't tell me what to do. You don't knock on my window like that. I'm a grown-ass man, twin. Grown-ass man talking like that. I don't even like my son talking like that. Come on, bro. And these fucking idiots. I understand.
What are you doing? I don't know what escalated to them taking him out of the vehicle, putting him handcuffs, and then face down on hot pavement. What is 100 and something in Miami right now?
Yeah.
With his body on the ground. I don't know how they even got there.
On the ground.
To that point. Now look, sometimes people that work in law enforcement or other occupations have jealousy and envy you, things of that.
This nigga's going there.
You disobeyed the cops' orders.
I did.
Maybe Paul Pierce calls that shit
Because
out.
I had an appointment to get to that I was running late for, and I tried to explain this to him.
Yeah, he's trying to get to somewhere that he was late for, and he was trying to. Who cares? You broke the law. Okay, whatever it is you was doing, wherever you was at. The rules over there are what they was, and you broke them. And both of them, Paul Pierce and that other girl, I don't even know her fucking name, are not gonna tell this nigga that what you was doing was wrong. Nah, they're gonna sit there and just laugh and act like there's nothing wrong with that. There's rules and regulations in life and places that you go for a reason. If there wasn't, if everybody just feel like they can act the way they want to act and do what they want to do, it's gonna create chaos. It's gonna be a problem. And I know y'all don't want people to come to your establishments or your restaurant or wherever shit that you own and people just acting or doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You're not going to like that. So what's the problem with you going somewhere to somebody else's establishment or living in a country where you can make money, you can create shit, you can do shit, and they say, okay, these are the certain rules and laws, follow them, please, or these are going to be the consequences. And you say, well, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, bro, and they're sitting there laughing with this dude, bro.
But he wanted to show me who was boss.
Yeah, at the time
eventually,
he was boss.
Our security de-escalated the situation. I'm like, okay, fine. I also been late, got off the highway. The police saw me. They knew. They put their sirens on and said, follow us into the stadium. We're going to get you there. Right. So they worked with me.
Right, but all that other shit that happened wouldn't have happened if you wasn't trying to force yourself through there. That wouldn't have happened. Okay, bam, I'm Keyshawn, I'm this, that. Okay, cool. Well, these are the rules, sir. Okay, who can we call to fix this situation? This person, blah, blah, blah. And Tyreek could have did the same shit. He could have pulled over, give these people his license. When they're running it, get your phone and call who you need to call. Say, hey, I'm running late for the game. I've been pulled over. What can we do to get me here? They probably would have made a phone call. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes at the most. Made a phone call and told the police that it's Tyreek, blah, 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 blah. Get him to where he needs to go. And that's a privilege of you being rich, of you being a famous football player. He could have used that to his advantage. All this white privilege shit they be talking about. He could have did that. But no, they want to escalate the shit. And then when shit turn bad on them, then they say, oh, it's racism. It's because I'm black. Come on, bro. Right. It's because they hate me. It's because I'm rich and you're not. Come on,
it happens.
Yeah.
It certainly does happen. Yeah. And just think, like Tyreek said.
He's not even listening.
It's Tyreek Hill. So the pass is a little bit different.
And that's my point. Imagine if that wasn't Tyreek Hill. Imagine if that was just a regular person. It probably would have been worse. So there go his privilege right there. His name, his stature, his money. Privilege. Come on, bro.
But even though Joy say we not looking for special treatment in this situation.
Of course you
are. No,
are.
I am.
I'm looking for special
treatment. Yes, I am.
Because I might be running late.
Because I'm running late. I'm at my stadium.
Right.
Unless you just don't know football. If you don't know football, you don't know who I am.
There's
I was about to say that. Somebody knows.
On top of that, you're working at the stadium.
Not only
you know
that,
what the players' cars look like.
Not only that,
you just do.
Not only that, his teammates rolled up.
Yeah.
See, they rolled up and was like, "Yo, this Tyreek Hill. What the hell are y'all doing?"
To be clear, I absolutely think he should get special treatment in this situation at the stadium with the police officers that are working at the stadium.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think that.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that simply because a moving violation, not having a seatbelt, shouldn't land anyone face down on the ground outside of the stadium. Like, that's the only reason I'm saying that.
Whoever it was that made the decision to place him in handcuffs, that's what they wanted to do.
Yes.
They wanted to do that for whatever reason. Whatever the reason is, if he looked at him wrong or he didn't sign the kid's autograph 2 years ago, whatever.
They didn't even watch the whole video.
There's an investigation going on right now, and obviously we're all very glad that it didn't escalate further than that, because it could have ended up very tragic based off of the energy of that situation. Mm-hmm. But Tyreek did play in the game. He scored the touchdown that...
Yeah, okay. All right. So, bruh, y'all hear them. Y'all hear these black people. Fuck what he did. Fuck if he committed a crime. They don't care if he was speeding with no seatbelt, if he could have hit somebody. He's a football player. He's rich and famous. He's one of the best right now in the whole league. So he should be able to do what the fuck he want to do. It's his privilege. He should be treated differently and special. I don't fucking agree with that. And that kind of mentality is what's going to get a lot of other black people hurt. Because everybody is not Tyreek Hill. Every black person don't have that type of money. Every black person is not that famous like Tyreek Hill. So y'all defending that type of situation and not explaining to people that, hey, if this happened to you, roll your window down, have your insurance card and everything ready for the police, hand it to them, sit your ass down in your seat and wait until they tell you what to do next. Instead, y'all jump to the end of the whole situation and say, oh, that shouldn't have never happened. Well, maybe if this motherfucker would have did what the police told him to do, that wouldn't have happened. And yes, you're right. They shouldn't have their knees on his back. He shouldn't be on the hot fucking floor with his face down, burning up, whatever the situation was. They shouldn't have sat him down like that after he was in handcuffs. You're right, but you're missing the whole point. It 80 or 90% wouldn't have led to that if this nigga would have just followed directions. My son, he does this shit all the fucking time, and I try so hard to get it out of him. And I think he's a kid. That's why he's probably like that. Most kids are like that. So I'm not as harsh as how the police was to Tyreek Hill, but I try to be stern where he knows that when I tell you to do something, at least the second time I say it, you should do it. Because I'm the authority figure in the household. Me and your mom. I'm making the rules here. Right? And that's exactly what happened. They told this dude like 10 times to put his window down. And the problem here is he had his window down. He rolled it back up. Why? Why? If you was making a phone call, you could have done it with the window down. Why are you rolling your window back up in a traffic stop when the police is trying to talk to you? So you want him to come there every time he want to talk to you, to knock on the window and tell you, hey, please roll the window down. I got something to say. Like, that don't make no sense. And if you're so scared of the police, if black people feel like they're being targeted so much, why when the police pull you over, you're not extra nice? Why not just be extra nice so they can let you go? That don't make no sense. Why aggravate the situation so the officers can react to it, and then all of a sudden they're racist? Like, that don't make no fucking sense to me, bro. And please, you're not Tyreek Hill. Don't go out there acting like that. I'm telling you, this is from experience. These people are out here trying to do their job. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're going to try to kill them. They don't know what you're going to try to do to them. They don't know how dangerous you are. Right? Do not argue with the police. Do not try to resist. If they tell you ID and all this, the matter of fact, once they pull up, you should have that pulled up already. If it's in your phone, pull it up on your phone, have that ready for them. Roll your windows down. Now, if you're a criminal, then maybe you have a reason to have your windows up. Then, yeah, okay, do what you got to do. But if you're not doing anything, if you don't have anything wrong, I understand, yeah, privacy, this and that. If you're not doing it, if you don't want to roll all your windows down, roll your driver's side window down so they can at least see you and talk to you. Be friendly. It can save you out of a ticket. Because once you get that ticket, you got to go to court for it. If you miss court, now you got a warrant for your arrest. If you don't do that, right? In some states, they will suspend your license. Now you can't drive. If you can't drive, you can't get to work. If your job requires you to have a driver license, you will lose your job. And if your license gets suspended for a certain amount of time, you can't work at a place that requires you to have a license if your license is suspended, even if you have an occupational license. They won't allow you. So you just put yourself in a bigger hole than you needed to be in initially if you just fucking listen. And if you're a parent, you will know that you get tired of repeating yourself over and over again to your kids, to somebody who to your kids, not even kids, to your friends, to family. People, you get tired of repeating yourself. When you say something once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, you're like, God damn, motherfucker, you didn't hear me the second time I said it. So, but when it comes to black people and police, everything that the police do to black people is racism. They never see what the black people do to the police, ever. They never see what the black people do to cause the situation to escalate to what it escalated to. Never. And I don't understand it. And that's one of the reasons why black people and the police are going to keep having this problem. But it's funny that they never talk about how black people are the minority when it comes to population in the United States of America. But yet we commit most of the violent crimes. We do. How is that possible? You're the minority of the population, but you commit most of the violent crimes. Instead of looking inward and being like, oh, what's going on here? It must be something going on. What's going on? Instead, they blame everybody else. And their number one reason that they always go to is racism.